Namaste. Welcome to Musings by Masha. I am Masha and my musings today will be all about The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. In this video I will be talking about The Prophet, the book itself that I have recently read, and I will be showing you the newest oracle card set by Blue Angel Publishing here in Australia, featuring the artwork by Kahlil Gibran, reproduction of Kahlil Gibran's artwork, and of course I will be talking about the book itself. So take a seat, grab yourself something to drink, grab yourself a cuppa or a bowl. I'm having a bowl of tea, and my bowl is a beautiful Tianmu bowl made by a Taiwanese artisan, and I'm having oolong tea, and this particular one is the aged Tiguanyin oolong from China. I honestly don't know how the Prophet has eluded me for so long. I have heard of Kahlil Gibran as an artist and as an author of the Prophet, and I did have the Prophet on my wish list for a while, but for some reason it just never got into my hands until last month. I saw that Blue Angel Publishing released the Prophet, the Oracle card set. And this cover artwork drew me in straight away, but also when I read at the back of the book that it includes the whole text of the Prophet together with 42 paintings, reproductions of original paintings by Kahlil Gibran, I knew I had to buy it. I knew I had to purchase it. And of course, if you saw my May's last month favorites video, I did mention that the Prophet has become very quickly one of my favorite books, and it was my favorite book for the month of May. I of course also took a little bit of time to really dive deeper into the lessons of the Prophet and to process, hence I'm doing only the walkthrough, the unboxing, this video right now today on this weekend. So the fun fact about the Prophet is that actually apparently after the Shakespeare and Lao Tzu, and Lao Tzu was the Chinese philosopher and poet who of course wrote the famous Tao Te Ching, and the Prophet comes third most sold book in the world. So that makes Kahlil Gibran the third most sold poet in the world. So that's another fun fact I wasn't aware of. I do realize that most of you probably would have read the Prophet not even once but many times, and you know more about Kahlil Gibran. But for those of you who have only been introduced to his work now, I would like to talk to you a little bit more about Kahlil Gibran himself, about what I have learned about him as I've been really obsessing about Kahlil Gibran, his art, and the Prophet since I read the book for the first time. So Kahlil Gibran, he was born in what is now Lebanon, and that's one of the portraits from the guidebook here of Kahlil Gibran. So he was born in 1883, and when he was 12, his mother and three of his siblings moved to the States, to the United States of America. So he had two sisters and a brother, half brother, and the mother, they moved back to Boston in the States. And I guess probably the most famous fact about Kahlil Gibran that he authored the Prophet, but he really firstly was recognized for his artistic skills when he went to the after school hours to a community center where he was noticed for his artistic skills. And also in Boston, Kahlil Gibran met Fred Hollanday, who was a famous and wealthy photographer and who was one of the pivotal figures in development of Kahlil's artistic skills, and who encouraged him to read and introduced him to the world of art and literature. However, from what I've learned, it's been speculated that Kahlil's mother and his older half-brother, they didn't appreciate the influence of Fred Hollanday, that famous photographer, and they sent Kahlil Gibran back to Lebanon to study there, to study Arabic literature, learn French language, and also, of course, to study French literature. Upon finishing his studies in 1902, Kahlil Gibran started to make his journey back to the States via a few cities, and when he was in Paris in 1902, he found out that his younger sister, she passed away due to tuberculosis was the cause of her death. And of course Kahlil returned to America, but within a year his brother passed away and his mother died of cancer as well. So it was a very difficult time in Kahlil's life. He only had one sister left, that was the older sister, I think Mariana, and she was very, very supportive of him, of his art and his writing work. Also later, Kahlil Gibran met Mary Haskell, and she was the second important person in his life that who supported him greatly. She was 10 years older than him, and she was a wealthy headmistress in one of the private schools in Boston. Her family owned that private school, so she due to her wealth, and she financed a lot of Kahlil Gibran's studies and work, and encouraged his talents developing further, refining his writing skills. Also, she was the one that sponsored him to go to France and to study art in Paris. And she also was his confidante, and what is of course speculated as well, that she was his confidante until he passed away quite young at the age of 48 in 1931. Now, The Prophet book by Kahlil Gibran was published in 1923, and it was an illustrated book with many of his paintings originally. In this guidebook, at page 65, there is the whole text of The Prophet included, which is quite exciting to have The Prophet together included in this oracle card set. And Kahlil himself, Kahlil Gibran, he believed that The Prophet was his most important work, and many people believe that The Prophet really truly reflects Kahlil Gibran's beliefs as well, personal belief system. The book itself, the book consists of 26 prosaic essays or poetic prose essays. So you will see that are covering human conditioning. So we have the essays on love and work, giving and receiving, clothing, work, joy and sorrow, buying and selling, crime and punishment, religion. And it's set in a way that there was a prophet who I'll tell you which Orphalis. Al-Mustafa, the name of the prophet, he lived in Orphalis for 12 years I think, and he was about to leave the city of Orphalis when people of the city came to him to say farewell, but also to ask him the questions about the, as I mentioned, different areas of human conditioning and aspects of human life. And the whole book goes that he shares his teachings with those people who ask him questions. So I'll just read a couple to give you a little bit of an example of the teachings. They are very profound. They had already such a big impact on me. So this one is on giving. You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself you truly give. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. Isn't it profound? And yeah, just amazing. The work. You work that you may keep pace with the earth and the soul of the earth. When you work, you are a flute through whose heart the whispering of the hours turns into music. And to love life through labor is to be intimate with life's inmost secret. So that resonated so deeply with me as well. With buying and selling, it is in exchanging the gifts of the earth that you shall find abundance and be satisfied. Yet unless the exchange be in love and kindly justice, it will be but lead some to greed and others to hunger. So yeah, I've got so much out of reading this book, and I'm just so fortunate that because of Blue Angel I finally picked it up. So now it brings us to the deck itself. As I mentioned, Kahlil Gibran, he passed away in 1931 at the age of 48. And in the States, what he did though he wanted to be buried back in his home city, home place, Pshari, but also what he did, he bestowed his royalties to his home city, Pshari, and when the royalties started coming in, there was a committee, Gibran's committee established, and there was a museum, Kahlil Gibran's museum open there. And because of that, we actually do have this beautiful reproduction of his artwork and the book in our hands, because Tony Carmine Salerno of Blue Angel, the person behind Blue Angel Publishing in Australia, he contacted the Gibran's committee, and this set was published with their permission. So with the reproduction of 42 of Kahlil Gibran's pieces of artwork that we're going to have a look at now. The Prophet, an oracle card set, which is attributed to Kahlil Gibran by Blue Angel Publishing. It comes in a matte sturdy box, really good quality, 2-part box. The inside of it is hard as well, and it's sort of like grayish latte color, I guess, on the inside. And of course it includes the guidebook, inclusive, as I mentioned, of the Prophet text. It's all paper that Blue Angel now put in their decks, and the deck itself. So as I mentioned, I haven't seen the cards. As you can see, it's still got a little plastic ribbon. The deck still got a little plastic ribbon around there, the back. So I saw the backs, and I saw the front, the first image of the oracle set. But let's have a look how the guidebook is structured. So as I showed you at the back, we already know, we established that we have the Prophet book, but the 64 pages before that, it's the guidebook. So we have the table of contents here, table of contents, sorry. And we have welcome by Tony Carmine Salerno. So he explains that he wants to wish thank you to Gibran National Committee for their permission in Beirut. Actually, the museum is in Beirut. My mistake. I thought it was in Pshari, in Lebanon, for allowing that reproduction. We have introduction here where we are told a little bit more about life of Kahlil Gibran. Then we have a few pages about the Prophet, the book itself. And then it takes us to how to use the cards, explaining that there are 42 cards, and contemplation and divination are the ways that the deck can be used. And it gives us 3 spreads: the single card spread, 2 card spread, and 3 card spreads. And once I walk you through and show you the cards, we're going to do a 2 card spread. As you know, I've read through the book and I've highlighted that. And I will tell you more once we get to the end of the video about the spread we will be doing. And then we have card messages here. So card messages themselves, they've been taken from the Prophet book, just kind of a few sentences or a paragraph. And yeah, so all of them they included here. Tony Carmine Salerno, he did mention that because the Prophet itself, the book, the 26 essays, they can be used as an oracle. You just open a page and you study a lesson a day. So he didn't edit anything because he just wanted really the messages and the cards themselves reflect the Prophet as written by Kahlil Gibran himself. So let's have a look. So yeah, beautiful. I'm just sliding. Yes. So this is the first image that drew me in deeply. And we see here, so that number 1 is the name of the card by Blue Angel Publishing, the name that they came up with. And then the bottom one is the reference, the coming of the sheep. So it's the beginning of the Prophet, where we can find that lesson. So that's the description. The gates of his heart were flung open. And this is the painting Beautiful painting that you can see the man looks like a prophet himself, with people who are very drawn to him, maybe for his advice. So that reflects, I guess, that chapter of the book when the prophet Al-Mustafa is leaving and people are coming to ask him questions about their human conditioning. Card number 2 is from the lesson of love, the essay of on love. Beautiful card. And this is the 3 stages of being, the name of the painting. I did do a little bit of research during the month without seeing the card, but it's just more on Kahlil Gibran's artwork, but it's stunning. So number 3 again for love. Love is sufficient unto love. On this painting has a French name which translates as the autumn. That's, I believe this one is actually one of his earlier paintings, when these ones, they were illustrations for the prophet that was published in 1923. This one, I believe, would have been his earlier piece of art. And then we have name of this painting is 2 Crosses, and that's on a lesson of marriage. Make not a bond of love. Another marriage card here. This artwork is just, I think this deck will be such a great deck for contemplation. And that's what I'm really planning to use it for contemplation, and pulling a card and returning to the lesson in the prophet, from the prophet, to reread and to contemplate, to ponder on children. And this one is on giving. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. One of the deep lessons from the prophet. Another beautiful piece of art. Giving. This one is from the lesson of giving. The Murmur of Silence is the name of this artwork. Eating and drinking. Rejoice through all the seasons. Another portrait, but this one again, it looks like it wasn't illustration for the prophet. I haven't come across this piece of artwork when I was browsing Kahlil's art online, of whatever I could find, but it looks like earlier or later. Next one is for work. Keep pace with the earth. The painting called The Gift. I have another card on work. So you can see some cards are horizontal, I guess probably to fit in the reproduction of the artwork, and some cards are vertical here. Joy and sorrow. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked. Another deep lesson here. This painting I did come across. The painting is called Crucified, and it's about joy and sorrow as well. Card 14, right? Card 15 is for clothes, but this is the portrait of Kahlil Gibran's younger sister, who died, as I mentioned, at the age of 14 when he found out the sad news when he was in France. Sultana, the portrait of Sultana Gibran. Beautiful. This one was on buying and selling. The land and the sea shall be bountiful, buying and selling as well. This is the painting of the archer, called The Archer. Crime and Punishment. The ocean laughs always with the innocent, for the essay on law. The freedom. So we have the painting called The Triad Being Descending Towards the Mother Sea. I have the Triad is descending towards the sea. Reason and passion, that's the lesson. Let me go is the name of the artwork. Another, exalt your reason to the height of passion, reason and passion. The marriage is the name of the painting. Let us rise together, that's how this one called, and this one reason and passion as well. Next one is on pain. Self-knowledge, the painting of the dawn. I do love the watercolors and those paintings that were done as illustrations to accompany the prophet. Just so much depth. The waterfall, the name of this painting by Kahlil Gibran, and this one is on self-knowledge. We have the teaching, and then we have this card, Divine World. It's probably one of the famous artworks by Kahlil Gibran, Divine World. And this is the back of the card as well, so that's the same image. Let's have a look up close. We have the eye in the hand. What is so the card for teaching, for the essay on teaching. We have here friendship. But the name of the painting, and I can read French a little bit, but I don't speak it. But when I was translating the name of this one, I've seen this one before, it was that self-giving, self-offering of the innate self, of innate love. Another one for friendship. I see those for the first time, so some of them I recognize, that I have my notes of the paintings that I've seen online, I've seen through my research. And this one is the later paintings of his, just a portrait of a woman, or maybe earlier one. I know the portraits, some of them were the earlier, some of them later artworks of Kahlil Gibran. But the ones that are more like watercolor prophet related, they were released in 1923. Good and evil. There's so much to it, isn't it? I need to have up closer look myself. I have, as you know, I haven't worked with those cards, and I look forward to dive deep. Pleasure is a freedom song. For pleasure. Life unveils her holy face. The essay, the poem on beauty, a prosaic poem on beauty. And this artwork is from 1928, so it's later than the prophet itself, and it is the face of Jesus, the name of this artwork. And that's for religion, for the lesson on religion, which actually I found quite profound as well in the prophet book itself. Another famous painting of his, and it's on the cover, I guess, first page of the book. This is the portrait, the face of Al-Mustafa, and Al-Mustafa is the prophet himself in the book. Another gorgeous watercolor card. I trust this painting is called The Prayer, and this one is on the farewell. Sing to me a deeper song. And the last card is the farewell. come and be one of us. So these are the cards. They are all matte, and as you've noticed, they are all borderless, but some of them are vertical and some of them are horizontal. Beautiful. They feel really nice in the hands. It's almost like rose petally finish, and but they slide really nicely, so they are not stuck together at all. So I'm going to give them a shuffle, and we'll take you back now to the guidebook. So we'll read the description of the 2-card spread that we're going to do with this deck. I just need to give it a really good shuffle. Okay, so a 2-card spread from page 16 in the book. 2 cards. Write down your question in its simplest form. So let's ask a question: what can we learn today? Shuffle, then select 2 cards and lay them side by side in front of you. The left-hand card is responding to subconscious or hidden factors. The right-hand card is responding to your conscious awareness and things unknown. So will be 2 cards, the left and the right, and about what we need to learn. So the left one will be that hidden of our subconscious, and the right one will be something that that is in our conscious awareness. Okay. Consider how these cards might oppose each other and how they can work together. So let's, I'll just shuffle once again. I did shuffle them very well. So conscious, subconscious. Subconscious is the first card, will be on the left, conscious on the right. I'm going to cut the deck, and the subconscious card I will choose from the bottom of the pile, and conscious from the top of the pile of those cards for us to do the reading. Just waiting until it feels, yeah, that's about right. So let's cut the deck. So we have the bottom card, that will be the subconscious, and the conscious will be the friendship card. Okay, so we are aware of our friendship, right? Okay, card number 8 and 30. So I will read you from the guidebook. The hidden aspect there, unconscious, is number 8. All you have shall someday be given. So it's about subconscious is the giving, on giving, that all we have shall someday be given. Number 8, giving. It is well to give when asked, but it is better to give unasked through understanding. And to the open-handed, the search for one who shall receive is joy greater than giving. And is there aught you would withhold? All you have shall someday be given. Therefore, give now, that the season of giving may be yours and not your inheritors. You often say, I would give, but only to the deserving. The trees in your orchard say no to, nor the flocks in your pasture. They give that they may live, for to withhold is to perish. Yeah, so that's a powerful message. Responding to our subconscious, our hidden factors, that maybe we all should be more giving when unasked, and giving not only to who we consider deserving. Our conscious card is friendship. Let your best be for your friend. So I already see the correlation. So giving and let your best be for your friends. So I think those cards are very connected here. Number 30. And let there be no purpose in friendship save the deepening of the spirit. For love that seeks aught but the disclosure of its own mystery is not love, but a net cast forth. And only the unprofitable is caught. And let your best be for your friends. So that's the lesson. I think the lesson is of giving of yourself, of your best to your friends, of giving unconditionally. So that's the lesson. Yep, deep deck, love, like I'm so glad that I got this one now, and I think honestly it's one of the best from Blue Angel, in my humble opinion. It's the deck that I immediately, not only kind of seen it with you, I have resonated very deeply. Will be using it for my further study, will be using it for contemplation, and I will be writing a thank you letter to Tony, Carmine Salerno and the Blue Angel publishing team for producing this beautiful deck. I am in love with that, and I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Of course, I can't recommend this one strongly enough. It's just because all the lessons here are from the Prophet, and I look forward to reading the Prophet again and again and tapping deeper into the lessons by possibly drawing everyday draws and then rereading that particular lesson again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think. Please let me know the insights that you have received, the lessons you've learned from the Prophet. If you have read the book itself, let me know if those cards resonate with you. Yeah, just leave a comment below. Thank you so much for stopping by today, for watching this walkthrough. Namaste.